Hey, I'm Brittany Bryden. Thank you so much for choosing to practice with me today. We're going to do a practice that will help you build strength and the building blocks towards inversions. So you're going to need 2 yoga blocks as well as a strap. And your strap, you're going to create a little loop just so that you can take your arms into the loop and your hands do not go wider than shoulder distance apart. If you don't have a strap, then you can use, if you have a small resistance band, you can use that instead. So once you have your props, let's get ready to rock and roll. So you're going to take your strap, just place it off to the side. And then I want you to take one of your blocks, place it towards where your feet are for when we come to use it. And the other block, you're going to place it underneath the pelvis. You're going to lift your hips up, slide the block underneath your pelvis. You have a little elevation there. Then take your left leg forwards, press your left heel down into the ground, and bring your right knee in towards your chest. So then you come to the chest, interlace your hands below the knee, and just explore through the hip, do some circles. And then draw it in, give it a squeeze, and switch sides. So you're going to send your right leg forwards, left knee in, press your right heel down, and do some circles to your left hip. And then hug your left knee in towards the chest. And switch. Left leg forwards, right knee in. You're going to start to move a little bit quicker. Take your breath in, and then on the exhale, switch. Good. You're going to keep going. You're going to start to hover your heel, and without using the hands down, you're going to bring your hands down to the floor. So as you move through this, make sure you're not pushing your ribs up. Think about front ribs coming in and down. We're going to do a couple more, just waking up the body. And then take both legs up towards the ceiling. And as your legs go up, just shake it out, do some circles to the ankle, move your toes. And now leave your legs elevated, but bring some more activation into it. So really reach your legs up. And the left leg's going to stay where it is. Your right leg is going to come down. Right heel's going to hover. And then start to bring your left leg closer towards you. Take a breath in. And then exhale, switch. Breathe in. Exhale, switch. Keep going at your pace with the breath. One more each side. And then bend your knees. Set your feet down on the floor. Take a few breaths in the supported bridge. And lift your hips off the block. Lower the back down and place the block between your thighs. Take your hands to your pelvis, anchor your feet down into the floor, and find a posterior tilted pelvis. So those frontal hip bones, I want you to draw them towards your lower ribs. So you're finding a slight tuck of the pelvis. And then keep the posterior tilt of the pelvis. Hands come down to the floor. Drive your feet in the ground and lift your hips up. Coming into bridge, engage your glutes. Lower down, tap your glutes to the floor. Tuck your pelvis under and lift your hips up. Lower down, tap, and then hips lift. One more, tap it down. Lift your hips up, pause at the top. You're going to roll down through your spine so your glutes will land last. You're going to roll down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now take the block out from between the thighs. Bring your knees over top of the hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. And you're going to lay the block flat to your thighs. Your hands are going to press into the block. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to lift your chest up. So head's going to come off the floor, shoulder blades off the ground. And I want you to press your hands into the block, and then the thighs are pushing into the block as well. Now you're going to leave your right leg where it is as you send your left leg forwards. Help your left heel above the ground. Then bring your left leg back to the block. Right leg's going forwards, hover your right heel. And then bring your leg back to the block. Left leg forwards. Pull it in. Right leg forwards. Bring it in. One more each side. Try to lift up closer to the thigh with the chest. And then other side. Bring it in and lower down. So you're gonna set your feet down on the ground. Now take the block between the hands. Your hands are holding the shortest end of the block and reach the block up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, lift your chest up and reach the block up. So try to get both shoulder blades off the floor. Keep pressing into the block. You're gonna start to reach your arms back. So your biceps are gonna frame the ears. Knit the front ribs in and down. Take the block back up to the ceiling, and then lower down. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, lift your chest up. Reach the block up to the ceiling. Then take the block back. Biceps are gonna frame the ears. Take the block up to the ceiling, and lower down. One more. Lift the chest up, reach up. Take the arms back, press your hands into the block. You're gonna hold here for 3. Keep the slight tug of the pelvis, 2, 1, take the block up, and then lower down. Block to the side, hug both knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side. You can also turn this into a happy baby. Let go of the feet, hug your knees in, rock and roll up and down the spine. And then once you come up, we are gonna grab all the props. So you're gonna take that block, place it out in front of you towards the front of your mat. The other block you're gonna place behind you, so it's where your shoulder blades are gonna go on. And then grab your strap. So you're gonna place your arms into the loop, and it's gonna be just on the forearms, so just below your elbows, maybe a little bit higher. Once you have that set up, you're gonna straighten your legs. You're gonna dig both heels into the block, and your legs are gonna be together. So you're gonna lower your back down, find the block. So again, your shoulder blades should be resting on the block, and start with your butt on the ground. Reach your arms forwards, feel the resistance into the strap, and then take your arms up towards the ceiling. Now as you dig your heels down into the block, you're gonna start to lift the hips up, tuck your pelvis under, and reach your arms back. So your biceps are gonna frame the ears. Press down, engage your inner thighs, and the tuck of the pelvis, and then lower the butt down and reach your arms forwards. Press your heels down, engage your inner thighs, pick the hips up, reach your arms back, ribs in, keep reaching back with the arms, and then lower down. One more time, lift the hips up, reach your arms back, hold for 3, 2, 1, lower down. Take the strap off to the side, come off the blocks, place the blocks off to the side, and make your way into the tabletop. Once you're in your tabletop position, turn your fingers to face the sides of the mat, back of the wrist touch, pressing down through all the fingers and just shift your right side to side, forwards, backwards. And then separate your wrists, turn your fingers around, fingers face your knees, rock forwards and backwards. And keeping your hands in this position, cat-cow, you're gonna pull your chest forwards and the tailbone up, and then round, push away from the floor. Bring your chest forwards, and then round. One more time, bring it through, and then round. And when you have that, shake the hands out, turn your fingers to face forwards. Now you're gonna grab your blocks, place them on the middle height, shoulder distance apart. Bring your elbows to the blocks, hands together in prayer. Lower your chest down towards the floor. Keep your hands in prayer, reach your fingers back. Now what I tend to see in this shape is everyone leading down to the rib cage. So instead, I want you to think about bringing your ribs in and like you're leading through the armpits instead. I love this one. This always feels good. Take one more breath here. And then coming out of it. Good, so now I want you to leave your blocks at the height that they're on. Bring the forearms down to the blocks. Palm of the hands are gonna face up, so you're gonna have that external rotation from the shoulders. Now lower your chest down towards the floor. Feel your shoulder blades come towards one another. Now do the opposite. You're gonna protract, spread the shoulder blades apart without pulling your chin in. Keep the palm of the hands facing up. Lower the chest down on the floor, retract through your shoulder blades. Now protract, spread them apart. One more time, retract. And then protract, hold. And then come out of that. And place the blocks off to the side. Bring your hands to the ground and tuck your toes under downward dog. Walk the legs out in downward dog. See how the first one feels in your body. And bring your big toes to touch. Take your right leg up towards the ceiling. Keep your toes facing the floor. Keep sending it back. Tap your right toes down to the ground. And then take your leg up. But as the leg goes up, make sure you're not sinking to the low back. Front ribs in. Tap the foot down. And then take the leg back up, sorry. Tap it down. And take the leg up. Now bend the top knee. Bring your heel to the glute. Rotate your hips to the right. Send your right knee up. And square off the hips, three-legged dog. Draw your knee into the chest and keep your knee as tight to the chest as you can. Roll it forwards. As you bring your shoulders over top of the wrist, think of that protraction you did on the blocks. Push away from the ground. Then step down between the hands. You're on your fingertips. If the floor is far away, use your blocks. Tap your back knee to the floor, lower the hips, bring your chest forwards. Pick up your back knee, send the hips back, long pyramid. Bend in the front leg, tap it down. Pick up the knee, send the hips back, long pyramid. One more time, tap it down. And then take the hips back. Option to flex your right foot this time. So you can play around with bringing your left heel close to the floor. You can also lift on the ball of the foot. You can bend the knee. You're gonna bend into the front leg. Leave your left hand where it is and take your right arm up towards the ceiling. So you're rotating the chest to the right. Drive your right foot into the ground. Keep your chest facing the right side, but now reach your right hand towards the front of the mat. So your biceps are just gonna hover above the ear, but keep hugging the right hip back. Then set your right hand down to the inside of the right foot, pivot to the left. Feet are gonna become parallel for skater lunge. You're gonna lunge into the left side. Then over to the right. Back to the left. And then to the right. Pivot to face the front. You're on the ball of the left foot, hands ground. Framing the right foot and step back, downward dog. Roll it forwards, bring your shoulders over top of the wrists. Set your knees down on the ground, feet together. So you're in a leaning tabletop, so your knees are behind the pelvis, not underneath. Tops of feet press on the floor. Push away from the ground, so protract through the shoulder blades. Use your glutes. Keep your arms straight, now retract. Chest towards the ground, shoulder blades towards one another. Protract, push away, spread the shoulder blades apart. Retract, protract. Now keep the protraction. Spin the elbow creases towards the front. Bend the elbows nice and slow. You're gonna lower yourself down to your stomach for 5. So the elbows will graze the side ribs. 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So separate the feet now, hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And take your hands behind the back of your head. Elbows are wide. And you're gonna start to lift your elbows off the floor. And then lift your head and lift your chest up without pulling your chin forwards. And lower down. Lift the elbows up, lift the head, lift the chest, press your feet into the floor. And lower down. One more time. Elbows lift, head and chest lifts, pause at the top. And then lower. Hands beside your lower rib cage, child's pose, and then bump back towards the heels. Shift your hips side to side. Roll it forwards, come to the table. And then tuck your toes under, downward dog. Bring your big toes to touch. Sorry. Left leg up to the ceiling. Toes stay facing the floor. Tap the toes down. And then take your left leg up. Tap the foot down. Take it up. One more time, tap. Take your left leg up. Bend the top knee, heel to glute, and rotate your hips to the left. Keep sending the knee up, heel in tighter, hips back. Then square off the hips, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, keep the knee in tight, roll it forwards, push away from the ground, and bring your shoulders as far forward as you can. Step down between the hands. You're on the fingertips or blocks. Tap your back knee to the floor, lower the hips. Pick up your back knee, send the hips back. Bend in the front leg, tap the back knee down. And then pick the knee up, send the hips back. One more time, tap the back knee down. Send the hips back, optional flex your left foot. Then bend into the front leg. Root down through your left foot, easy twist. Right hand stays where it is, left arm up to the chest. So just notice if your left shoulder is rolling towards the ear, so you can drop back a bit and keep reaching your left hand to the ceiling. Now reach your left hand to the front, bicep just above the ear, hug the left hip back. It's a nice side body stretch. Take your hands to the inside of the foot, turn to the right, skater lunges side to side. So you can keep the hands on the floor or you can choose to take them off. Next time that you lunge into the left leg, pivot to face the front. Hands spring the left foot, you're on the ball of the right foot, and step back in a downward dog. Roll it forwards, bring your shoulders over top of the wrist, bring your feet together. Find your plank, so you can do what we did before with the knees on the ground. Otherwise, knees are off the ground. Crown of the head forwards, arms stay straight, retract. Protract, push away. Retract. Protract. One more, retract. Protract, and then start to bend the elbows. Lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Separate your feet, hip distance apart. Tops feet on the floor, hands behind the back of the head. Elbows lift, head and chest lift up. Lower down. Elbows lift, head and chest come up. And then lower. One more time, pick it up, hold. Lower down. Hands beside the lower ribcage, child's pose, and the hips back. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Downward dog. From here, I want you to lift up high in the balls of the feet. Send your hips up towards the ceiling, and I want you to try to keep your hips up as high as you can. And you'll walk your feet to the hands. And as your feet get closer to the hands, you're going to start to transfer more weight into the fingers. And when your hips get closer, hips go up higher. Or sorry, when your feet get closer, hips go up higher. Ugh, get as close as you possibly can. Then take a halfway lift. Fold over top of the legs. Come up to stand, reach both arms up. Hands together, our prayer. Both arms reach up. Fold forwards over top of the legs. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Set your hands down, step back in a plank. Chaturanga, baby cobra or up dog. And then downward dog. Take your right leg up towards the ceiling, toes stay facing the floor. Lift up high in the ball of your left foot. Look forward so you know where you're going. Bend your left knee and first just find a bounce. So before you hop, just begin to get comfortable getting light on that left foot. Now when you're ready, you're gonna hop your left foot forwards. Might be a little baby hop or it might be a big hop. And then you're gonna step your right foot back. Adjust your feet as you need. And take your back knee down to the floor. Low lunge, both arms come forwards and up. Then hands lower to the ground, pick up your back knee, step back in a plank. chaturanga, baby cobra or up dog, and then downward dog. We'll try that on the other side. Left leg up. Toes face down, look towards the hands, lift up high on the ball of our right foot. Begin to bend your right knee, find a little bit of a bounce. And now you're gonna hop your right foot forwards. Step back with your left leg. Left knee down, low lunge. Arms go forwards and up. Hands to the floor, pick up your back knee. Step back, downward dog or flow. So take a moment in downward dog. Bring your attention back to the breath. Think about a long spine here. And then together, take a nice big breath in and empty out. Walk your hands back to your feet. And then walk your feet mat distance apart, turn your feet out slightly, Malasana, lower the hips down. Bring your hands together in prayer, rock level side to side. And then take your right arm in front of the right leg. Your hand's gonna reach to the right side, left arm up to the ceiling. Make sure your knees aren't rolling in. And then bring yourself back to center. Switch the left arm in front of the left leg, right arm up. And then center. Hands down, hips up, bring your feet parallel. Fold over top of the legs, wrap your forearms behind the back of the calves, fingers find your heels. Take a halfway lift, lengthen, and then exhale, fold into the legs. Walk your hands forwards, downward dog. Bring your big toes to touch. Right leg up towards the ceiling, toes face the floor. Lift up high on the ball of the left foot, bend your left knee. You're gonna hop your left foot forwards, get as close to the hands as possible. Step back with your right leg. Adjust your feet if necessary, and then set your knee down. Low lunge, both arms gonna come forwards and up. Hands to the ground, pick up your back knee, send the hips back. Long pyramid, option to flex your foot. Bend into the front leg, easy twist. Right hand down, left arm up. You can stay here in the easy twist or shift onto the outer edge of your right foot and come into a side plank. If you're in the side plank, square your hips off to the side. And then lift your left leg up, look forward, step your left foot to the top of the mat. We're all gonna turn to the right, skater or skandasana into your right side. And then go over to the left. Pivot to face the front, you're on the ball of the right foot, step back, downward dog. Now lower down onto your forearms for dolphin. So in your dolphin, you can bend your knees as much as you need, keep sending the hips back like you would in a downward dog. Walk your feet closer towards you and keep lifting the hips up. Press the hands down into the floor. And then walk your feet back, forearm plank. On your forearm plank, try not to hike your butt up. Engage your glutes, protract to the shoulder blades, then lower your knees down. Untuck the toes, sphinx, pull your chest forwards. Lower down, interlace the hands behind the back. Press the palm of the hands together. Roll the shoulders back, lift the head, lift the chest, pull the knuckles back. Lower down, hands beside your lower rib cage, child's pose. Downward dog, second side. How are we doing? You still with me? Bring your big toes to touch. Now it's your left leg going up. Toes face the floor, look forwards, lift up high on the ball of the right foot. Bend your right knee, hop your right foot forwards. Step back with the left leg, left knee down to the floor. Low lunge, arms come forwards and up. Hands to the ground, pick up your back knee, long pyramid, hips go back. Bend into the front leg, easy twist, right arm up. Either stay in the easy twist, or if you did on the first side, side plank, stack your right foot on top of the left. And if you are in the side plank, lift your right leg up, look forwards. Step your right foot to the top of the mat, and we're all gonna turn to the left. Your choice, skater or skandasana. Over to the other side. Pivot to face the front, hands down, step back, downward dog. Lower down onto the forearms. Dolphin, walk your feet in. And you're trying to get your head off the floor rather than rounding forwards and going close to the floor. Walk your feet back. Forearm plank. Lower your knees down, untuck the toes, bring your chest forwards. And then lower down. Interlace the hands behind the back. Palms together, roll the shoulders back. Lift the chest, pull the knuckles back. Lower down, hands to the ground, child's pose. Rolling up to the spine so you're sitting on the heels. So before we close off, we're going to practice dolphin or pincha. So you can take yourself near a wall if you'd like. You're going to grab your strap. You already have it all set. So you're going to place your strap just below your elbows. And then I want you to grab your block. Place your block on the lowest height. Your hands are going to frame the block. So you have an L shape around the block. Palm of the hands are down on the ground. So from there, you're going to come into your dolphin. So tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. And this might be a lot right here, then just stay able to strengthen that. But if you feel comfortable with it, walk your feet in, and then maybe you take one leg up. And before you start to kick and bring both legs together, I want you to try to lean into your forearms, press your hands into the block, and then you're going to slowly lift the left foot up. And you can keep the left leg down, so you do not have to take it up. And then option to just bend the knee. Either way, I want you to use your breath, don't hold it. And then slowly come out of that. Whew. Take the props off to the side. Child's pose with your arms back, fold over top of the thighs. And slowly roll up. You're sitting on the heels, lift your chest up. Swing your legs forwards, lower down onto your butt. Legs out in front of you. So you can do this with a strap. You have a loop, so you can hook the loop around your feet if you'd like, or no strap at all. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling, and then a hinge from the hips, fold forwards over top of the legs. Roll yourself up. Reach your arms forwards, tuck your pelvis under, slowly roll down through your spine. And then once you arrive, shake it up to the arms, shake it up to the legs. Bring your arms down on the ground. Take a nice big breath in. And empty out. Being in tune with the natural rhythm of your breath. Stay and relax for as long as you'd like today. Thank you so much for moving with me. Be humble, be kind. Namaste.